Welcome to my dining room. Good morning. This is episode 41A of the Live and Learn Knitting Podcast, and this is another in-betweener episode. Today is Saturday, June 28th, 2025, and I am trying to get this done. This is actually my third take because I hit the wrong button, because I had the camera facing the wrong direction. Yeah, so hopefully third time is the charm. We're going to go take a look in the yard and see how much it's changed since May, what's blooming now. A lot of different things. We had 3 days this week of alternating of torrential rain, almost 2 inches each time. So there's a lot of saturation. Everything was looking very bedraggled yesterday. It seems to have perked up today. So we'll take a look. I'll show you briefly the knitting I've been working on, which is this heating pad cover. Oh, everything's kind of tangled here. And I'm almost to the halfway point. Here is the old cover. So you can see just another, inch or so, 2 inches. And then I maybe can turn it. And this cover has a sandwich bag type fold over top. And I think I'm going to mimic that when I do my sewing. And so I need to figure out where I need to put this buttonhole, or, just cast on, cast off, cast off, cast on stitches to make this opening for where the cord could go through. And I'll sew it, fold it over and sew it like that when I sew the side seams. So that's happening, and mindless knitting was all I could handle this last couple weeks, and I really didn't get that much done. Summer can be like that, I guess. So the other thing I did was sew a button on a waistband of a pair of jeans that I scavenged, I think, from a rummage sale free box, and they fit. They're lighter denim. They were perfect for working in the yard. They're long. I have to cuff them up, but they're so comfortable. So that was a nice win. The one last thing that I have been doing is I am baking for a meeting I have on Monday, making some treats. I offered to do that. So this first batch is a vegan and gluten-free ginger snap. And I'm not sure if they snap. The first tray, it caught a little bit in the oven. If you watch Bake Off, they'll say, if you're making something dark, you can't necessarily tell when it's done. Well, yeah, I left the first ones. Second tray is much better. So I think that's what happens when you do leave out the egg. They seem a little tougher when they cooled, especially. So they're fine. They're not going to break anybody's teeth. They smell amazing. They taste really good, but just a little on the side. And like a second tray better. So then this batch is an espresso cardamom cookie. There's pecans in there too. And it smells like a mocha latte and a cookie. They're very good. Just regular flour on that one, but espresso chips in there. So that was a good bake, and it made a lot. And then this batch is a savory, and it is a 3 cheese jalapeno chipotle shortbread. And I'm going to try this batch again because this first one, it's very good, but I don't often, almost never, use unsalted butter. I just buy the regular salted butter and use that. And so I should have been mindful of that, because salted butter, salty cheeses, and then the recipe said to add salt, and I just added it, and I thought, wait a minute. So the dough, they are a little on the salt. They're salty, spicy. They're very, very good. But if you ate too many of them and then drank liquids, my face would be puffy the next morning. So, and I'm not going to eat too many at a time, but they're good. They taste, the texture's good. Good shortbread. So I'm going to try them again with less salt. And the cheeses were this jalapeno cheese that was sort of like a processed cheese, but not quite. So that grated that, and then a Parmesan, and then a sheep cheese that I had, a harder sheep cheese. So yeah, 3 cheeses, 3 different flavors. Very good. I have one more batch to bake today, or 2, today or tomorrow, I'm not sure when. I'm going to do my gluten-free chocolate chip cookies, which are, it's a recipe I found online, and I think I follow it pretty close to the actual recipe. So there's that. I'm looking out the window, watching a kid walk a dog. And then, so I'll share that link. And then tomorrow I might make mini muffins with cinnamon chips in them. And I'm trying to think if that will have another flavor besides the cinnamon. I'm not sure. Anyway, let's go outside, see what's blooming. Be back in a sec. I'll hit the right button this time. I hope. Okay, if you remember, back in May, I had just planted this bed, and there are collards at the corners and broccoli halfway, and then my cucumbers were just seeds, and it looked like a lot of bare ground. Well, look at it now. I should actually, I could do that today, take off those wire shelving sides, because I don't think the squirrels can even get in there to bother anything right now. But yeah, just a beautiful, the cucumbers are starting to climb up the strings, up the maypole, and it's all looking very well. So I think I can walk around this direction and show you. Sorry if this is too much movement, but I just noticed yesterday there is a little bit of a broccoli head coming up on this one. I'm excited about that. Yeah, as I do. Oh, and I don't know if you can see in there, there's one way down in there too. So they're coming. Happy to see that. And just look at the nice contrast of those 2 greens, the blue green and the greeny green of the cucumber leaves. Very cool. And then I'm just going to slowly pan around here. Sorry if this is jaggedy. And just a few of my lilies blooming. Just some different, oops, sorry about the finger. Some Asian lilies. Yeah, just nice, nice colors coming out here on this little bed by my back path. And we'll walk over here, and if you remember this one, there are actually 9 tomato plants out here, but can you see them? No, because look at the beautiful rudbeckia, the black-eyed Susan, brown-eyed Susan. Such a nice patch of them. I'm so pleased to see them looking so well. I do have, where are they? Some tomatoes coming along here on this. This is probably one of the cherry tomatoes when they have such a cluster like that. And then over, yeah, can you see back through there? There's another, that's a celebrity tomato down in there. So the tomatoes are coming along nicely. Here's another. Such happiness right there. Just wonderful. Okay, I'll find something else. This is just a little flower bed that's by the end of my driveway, one end of the driveway. And again, more black-eyed Susan, some oxeye daisies, and then in the back there are Stella d'Oro daylilies, and a few of the annuals that I planted. And I did pull weeds, but I see more weeds in here today, and of course, yeah, and the grass is starting to come up again. With all that rain, everything's just gonna go bananas. Oh, that is a red squirrel, that noise. Not happy with me. Oh, let's see if I can get this bumblebee. I have not seen very many bees this summer. So this stalk, if you don't know, is mullein. And it is a non-native plant, but the bees love it, the birds love it. That flower head, when that goes to seed in the fall, it can be just downy woodpeckers and finches. All the birds really will go for the seeds in there. Let's look at that bumble. Oh, it says, I'm gonna be a camera shy bumble. There we go. Oh, I think they can sense, smell. Yeah, because as soon as I go back, he's back in there. You know, the presence of people. He's got a lot of pollen on his legs. Okay. Well, he wants me to leave so he can go to work. So I will do that. We'll find something else here. I don't remember if I showed you these planter boxes last time because I had them up against the house. That's where they've been for many years, and I had to move them this spring in anticipation of having some work done on the house. So I put them over here. These are wax beans, and they were up like this high, and then something came and ate them. Luckily, I mean, they were still blossoming, so they kind of ate them right down to the blossoms. And if you can see, they didn't get phased too much by having no leaves. All of these leaves are new growth since you can kind of see there's evidence that they were chomped. But there are, yeah, new leaves coming out. I did pick my first serving of beans last night, and they were delicious. So I'm happy that they rebounded. They're wax beans, so yeah, I have to wait for them to get a bit yellower before I can pick them. And then the same thing happened over here at the lettuce box. The romaines especially, they got chomped way back to here. But, you know, lettuce. I mean, that's what I would do. I would pick them for salad. So I've got, more lettuce to pick today. And then there's the kale at the end of the box. All looking very nice. So happy about that. And we'll just go this way. Here are more Rudbeckia and another lovely batch of Stella D'Oro that I put around this guy wire, support wire. And then these, coming along nicely, are Monarda, and they will be blooming in another few weeks. So these are the pale lilac lavender Monarda. I have 3 different colors in the yard, and I'm kind of worried about the red ones that are out front because they think they got crunched by some utility work that was done a month or so ago. I haven't seen too many in that spot, so I'm hoping they're going to make a revival. And then in the back I have magenta, and there again I haven't seen as much as in the past. So all right, I'm going to move a little bit and show you some more. Can you see the theme right now is a lot of yellow, but it's beautiful. All right, this is my front yard right now, full of daisies. My front meadow, let's call it. Yeah, look at all those daisies. And like I said, these really, they are past their peak a little bit and heading out. I had, over where we just were by the Stella D'Oros, there was a big field of them there, and they bloomed first, and then they were all cut down because they're done blooming. And that's what I will do with this area when these are past their prime. In some spots I just deadhead, but there's probably enough here that it would be a lot of work to deadhead everything. and it's easier just to cut them back. Although I might have to do it by hand because there are milkweed coming up in here, and I for sure want to keep the milkweed for the monarchs. Oh yeah, doesn't that just look lovely? All right, one more thing, I think, today. This is some yarrow it planted itself here, and sadly, it's too close to the street edge. I'm going to have to, there's a lot of it too. Well, then there's more daisies, and more mullein, which is just so fun. I am not sure if mullein transplants very well, and they're actually on their second year, and they will come up when they're done. But the yarrow, yeah, I'll have to transplant it and move it back. It's happy here, but yeah, too close to the street. So yarrow is a medicinal plant, and it's also an insect repellent. You can combine it make a tincture with witch hazel or alcohol and use it as an insect repellent. And I just come along the street here. Now there's a lot of traffic noise. I hope that's not too overpowering. This is a bunch of clover that I planted, and I got, because they did utility work here last spring and summer, this was all torn up, and I said, don't put grass in there, I'll put something else in. So I put clover in, but I got clover that was a bit too tall. So yeah, it's nice, and it's just starting to bloom, which is, perfect for the pollinators. Not so perfect for the requirements we have to live by, the rules that people make. So as soon as this is done blooming, I'll have to cut it back, and I have shorter clover that I'm going to interseed in here to grow for next year. And I see one more thing, sorry for the movement, another clump of daisies, because they're everywhere. And then these, they're not showing up as pretty as they look in real life. They're harebell, and they are not a native, but they're so pretty. And I am not a purist when it comes to, I can only have native plants from my wildflowers. I think everything needs to get along. So I try not to have some of the really bad invasives, but look at that harebell. Look at how beautiful. So it's a keeper in my book. One more thing, and then I think we'll be done. Sorry if I jiggled there. This is Korean bush cherry, and these are tiny. But this tree is, how the fruit trees usually every other year. I mean, look, it's tiny, fingertip tiny. But they're delicious. They're sweet. They're almost all, almost half stone. But this bush is loaded. And I planted this, I can't remember how many years ago, to kind of mark the property line. So it has spread. It's a huge bush now, and it's sprawls over both properties. But my neighbors, they like it because they get to pick cherries on their side, and I pick cherries on my side, and the birds pick cherries everywhere. So yeah, this is what I need to do this afternoon, is come out and pick some cherries and make, I don't know what, cherry juice, cherry jam, something good. Maybe just eat them out of hand. Yeah, just loaded, and I'm happy. So that is my yard video. I will leave you with that. I don't think I have anything better to end with, but it's maybe in the next fortnight I will have more knitting to show. Don't count on it though. It's summer, it's busy. The weather's been okay. We'll take it, right? I hope you're all well and enjoying life wherever you are, enjoying your projects, being creative, being happy. Sometimes it's a challenge, but we can make it because we are smart, creative, mindful people, right? Yes, okay. Take care, everyone. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.